will be talking about George Washington Carver and Ernest Everett Just. These are two very famous biologists during a time when science was not the popular subject it is today. My personal interest in this subject is because I am a biochem major and I have always looked up to George Washington Carver as one of my role models. If I had to compare George Washington Carver to anybody, I would compare him to the Bill Nye or Neil deGrasse Tyson of his time. He became famous due to his intensive study of the peanut, sweet potato, and many other vegetables, and was well known as the peanut guy. George Washington Carver was born January 1864 in Diamond, Missouri as a slave. He got out of slavery due to the Emancipation Proclamation when he was still kept by his former slave owners. They brought him up and taught him to read and write. After graduating from Iowa State University and becoming a botanist, George Washington Carver started to research and teach at Tuskegee University. He also ran the school's whole agriculture department, which would achieve national recognition due to George Washington Carver's efforts. George Washington Carver's most useful and innovational discovery was the introduction of crop rotations, which would replenish the nitrogen in the soil after years of growing crops such as corn. George Washington Carver also discovered hundreds of uses for peanuts, sweet potatoes, and many other vegetables. It is ironic that George Washington Carver is most famous for inventing peanut butter, one of the few peanut products that he didn't actually invent. Ernest Everett Just was a biologist born August 14, 1883 in Charleston, South Carolina. Ernest Everett Just was an amazing biologist who discovered many things, and it is a pity that he is widely unknown to the students in modern times. Born just 20 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, Ernest Everett Just was well known as a very smart and intellectual child who went to a prestigious high school and then enrolled in Dartmouth College, where he graduated as the only magna cum laude student, which means he received high honors in academics. Ernest Everett Just was a man who wore many hats during his lifetime. He was a teacher at Howard University, where he also researched. He then went to work at Woods Hole Marine Biological Laboratory in Massachusetts, then went to earn his PhD from the University of Chicago, where he graduated as the only magna cum laude student again. Then he was recognized by the National Research Council and went to work in Europe. Sadly, during his stay in Europe, World War II was raging, and he had to move around to avoid capture by the Nazis. But he was captured and sent to a concentration camp. He was ill before he got into the concentration camp, and being in the concentration camp only made it worse. After he was freed from his imprisonment, he died shortly after in Washington, D.C. Ernest Everett Just was a pioneer of biology. He is well known due to his discoveries at the cellular level of organisms and how the development of these cells affected the organism. He also made discoveries in the fields of cell division, dehydration in living cells, and the effects of UV radiation on cells.